Now on C-SPAN, we take you live to West Potomac Park near the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial. A march and rally in Washington today focusing on civil rights, criminal justice, health care, and economic justice. Our live coverage of the rally, which is set to get underway officially at noon Eastern Time. Clearly a lot of folks who have made their way to the rally so far. We will continue to watch the sights and sounds here for a few minutes, and we expect the rally to get started at noon Eastern. Live coverage here on C-SPAN.
Justice! No justice! What do we want? What do we want? Now! What do we want? Justice! Now!
In the house. In the house. In the house. Oh, that's a lovely thing.
Justice for injustice. Schools. Health care. Police accountability. We got to get up and get out and make it happen. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. When do we want it? Now. From South Carolina National Action Network, Elder Johnson. Woo! No peace. No justice. No peace. No racist. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace.
Hey man, it's 35 degrees out here today, but we shall not be what? We shall not be what? We shall not be what? Donald Trump, we want to send a strong message to him. He denied our President Barack Obama for 8 years as a legitimate president. Now we denying him as a black American president. No justice, no justice, no racist, no racist, no justice, no justice. Amen. Thank you.
Some people are coming to Washington next week because they believe that they can make America great again. But I would suggest to you, you can't make America great again if you didn't make her great the first time. It was our grandmothers and grandfathers who prayed us through slavery, who prayed us through Jim Crow. They made America great. It was immigrants that crossed the Pacific by choice. It was Africans that crossed the Atlantic by force. We made America great the first time. It's immigrants crossing the Rio Grande today. They make America great. You can't make America great again if you didn't make her great the first time. So we come here today in advance of your nonsense to set the record straight, to let you all know that we have not forgotten from whence we came and what price we paid to get here. And we're not going to let you take the blood of our grandparents and our ancestors and cheapen it and flush it down the drain. We've come to reclaim America. This is our nation. This is a nation built on our labor, on our backs, and we are going to make America great again. We've come by the thousands to say to those that want to shrink America's promise, to those that want to take the American dream and put it on a high shelf for certain people, we've come to say to you, the American dream is larger than anything that you can put in a phrase. And now it's time to start the rally. I want to bring to the microphone at this time a woman who stands at the helm of the city, which is the capital of our nation. She is the mayor of Washington, D.C., and she has joined us to stand in the fight and to welcome us into her city. So let us receive at this time our mayor, the nation's mayor, mayor of the capital of America, Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, all. I'm Muriel Bowser, and I'm the mayor of the best city in the world. And I want to welcome the National Action Network to Washington, D.C. I want to welcome you all to my hometown and your nation's capital. And I want to thank and recognize our Reverend Al for his leadership, our Reverend Al for his vision, and our Reverend Al for standing up for all of us. Over the last several months, we've all been reminded of the values we have to fight for. We have all been reminded of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King and what he stood for, how he told us that we had to look beyond ourselves, look beyond our own generation, and make sure this was an America that was worthy of us all. I'm reminded in my own hometown that we have to fight on a local level, the state level, and the federal level. And that is why we're truly blessed that Reverend Al has called us together. He reminds us that it's not where we start, but where we are growing. And I am proud that in Washington, D.C., the nation will look to us. In our city, we know that we can't rely on the federal government. And we don't have a state government. We are the city, the county, and the state all at once. And because of that, we have fought to get our crime rates down, unemployment down, graduations up, and more people getting a second chance in our city. We have insisted and made D.C. one of the most inclusive places anywhere in these United States. We are committed to justice and to equity and committed to making American values all people's values, and that's our focus. As mayor of Washington, D.C., we know that we can be at the forefront to fight for criminal justice reforms that make our city and our nation more fair. We have led the way in working with our brothers and sisters in labor to pass a minimum wage of $15 by 2020, and we call on the nation to do the same. We know that we can't have a prosperous city that we're proud of if more Washingtonians don't participate in it, and that is why we're more committed to affordable housing than ever. We know that we have to stand up for the human rights of women, of girls, of our LGBT community, of Latinos, of African Americans, and anybody that would be threatened or scared in their nation. And we're asking you to stand up for us on this issue. You know that we live in the shadow of the nation's capital, but we don't have a vote in that capital. In D.C., we demand statehood because that's the only way that we can truly be equal. I hope that while you're in Washington, I know you're going to see our fantastic memorial to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And you will remember when he was at Spelman College, he said to all assembled 5 decades ago, if you can't fly, then you should run. If you can't walk, then you should crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving, National Action Network. And Washington, D.C. is right here with you. God bless you all.
And now for our invocation. He is the senior pastor of the historic Bethany Baptist Church in Brooklyn, where Reverend Dr. William Augustus Jones baptized Reverend Sharpton. It is Reverend Sharpton's home church, and we are grateful to have with us Reverend Adolphus Lacey.
Let us center ourselves. Eternal God, grand architect of this universe, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this beautiful day, because any day above ground is a beautiful day. A day to resolve our determination to stand for justice. As we stand in the shadow of one of your saints, Dr. King, we thank you for his legacy that continues through the National Action Network and through Reverend Al Sharpton. We pray for all of those that have gathered across this country as we unite together to stand for justice, equality, freedom. Be with us in this encounter. In your name we pray. Amen.
Now, my colleague, let us receive at this time my colleague, the West Coast Regional Director of the National Action Network, Reverend Dr. K.W. Toulos.
No justice, no justice, no justice. Brothers and sisters, it's a beautiful day. As I look amongst you, one of the things I recognize is God is alive and well. How do I know? Well, I spoke to him early this morning, and he assured me that everything is going to be all right. I don't know about you today, but today we've come to send a strong message to this nation that we shall overcome, that we shall not be moved. We've come this morning from the West Coast, from the East Coast, from the North, from the South, to send a strong message, to make some noise, and to let this world know that we will not bow down. We will take a stand. We will march. We will raise our voices like a triumph. I don't know about you today, but I'm excited because as I look amongst these beautiful people, as I look amongst you, I see the audacity of hope. I see individuals that's ready to get in the street. I see individuals that's ready to raise their voice. I don't know about you today, but like the three Hebrew boys, we're not going to bow down. We're gonna move with the vigor of God. We're gonna let them know, and we're gonna speak truth to power. We see what this world is coming to. Here we are, 14 days into a brand new year. We want to send a message that your appointments, those that you are appointing to these national positions, that they will hear from us. We know that Ben Carson looked good, but the sad thing is he don't sound good. Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to win? Well, make some noise. Make some noise. Keep it alive. God bless you.
My brother and colleague, the Midwest Regional Director of the National Action Network and the Senior Pastor of King Solomon Baptist Church in Detroit, Michigan. Let's receive Reverend Dr. Charles Williams, Jr.
What time is it? It's fighting time. Let me hear you. What time is it? What time is it? No justice. No justice. What do we want? When do we want it? Let me hear you make some noise. We stand here in the shadows of the Washington Monument. We stand here in the shadow of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s monument. But we don't stand here because we just deserved it. Somebody had to pay a price. And the question is that we have the opportunity to stand here now, but are we willing to stand up and fight back so that those who come after us get the opportunity to stand here too? The question is, are we willing to fight to make sure that we hold on to health care? Are we willing
to fight to make sure that every man and woman have the opportunity and access to jobs? Are we willing to stand and fight the racist police that continue to rain terror on our boys and cities across America? If we fight, we win. When we don't, we won't. And so, although we're happy to be in this space today, the real fight is the fight that we must fight when we go back home. Whether it's in Detroit, Michigan, whether it's in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, whether it's in Washington, D.C., whether it's in New York, that fight must go back with us. And if we fight, we win. No justice. One of the reasons I have a lot of faith in our future is because our future is in the hands of people like my sister, my young sister, who is a student at Spelman College and carrying the NAN banner all throughout Atlanta and Georgia. She's our National Youth Director of the National Action Network and carries that message across the nation. She is a millennial leader in her own right. Let us receive right now my sister, Mary Pat Hector.
I think it's important that before I start, I acknowledge the fact that millennials organized this march. With the assistance of Reverend Sharpton, millennials organized this march, and they deserve that acknowledgement. And I'll name a few before I begin. Millennials like Quavon Haroof, Tyleek McMillan, David Carter, Ashley Sharpton, Ebony Riley. I know I may be forgetting some. Elijah Tutt. I could go on and on and on about the millennials all across the country that helped put this together, and the ones standing behind me. And so if you can, please give these young people a round of applause. As we stand here, I can't help but to think about the woman who at this very second is being sexually assaulted and may have to face her rapist every day because there are people advocating to end safe abortions in our country. While we marched, I couldn't help but to think about the African-American teenager today that lost their lives due to gun violence. I pray for the health of my loved ones who will no longer have health care because they're trying to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act. While these issues may seem different to you, the truth is that cannot be any further from the truth. Dr. King had a dream that we could all stand together in unity and work together. But recently, all I've seen in the news and the media is divisiveness. In order for us to move forward, there needs to be unity. There's a war on women in this country. There's a war on black and brown bodies in this country. There's a war on justice in this country. And so today we stand here in Washington, D.C. to tell Donald Trump, Jeff Sessions, and everybody else in his administration that we will not be moved. That millennials, that adults, that indigenous people, that immigrants are working together, standing together in unity, pushing the message of the second wave of the civil rights movement and the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King and the spirit of Ida B. Wells and the spirit of Shirley Chisholm and so many great people. And so today, we need to understand that it's not just Donald Trump that we have to worry about, because all politics are local. And so you have to find it within yourself after today to go back home and to keep up the fight for 4 years. For 4 years. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and protect each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Thank you.
He is the liberation seeker. He is the people's preacher. He is the founder and the president of the National Action Network, and he is the one who called us to be here today to send a message for those that will come tomorrow. Let us receive at this time the president and founder of the National Action Network, the man called for this day, this moment, and this hour, Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. No justice. No peace. No justice. No justice. No justice. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? 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 We won't go back. We won't. 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 All right. We are gathered here and we've marched in the driving rain because we want this nation to understand that what has been fought for and gained, that you're going to need more than one election to turn it around. We have called this march on 4 non-negotiable issues: voting rights, criminal justice and police reform, equal and fair economic justice, and the Affordable Care Act. We come to Washington from all over this country. They're going to lie tomorrow and say it wasn't but 200 of us, but look at this crowd in the rain. We come not to appeal to Donald Trump, because he's made it clear what his policies are and what his nominations are. We come to say to the Democrats in the Senate and in the House and into the moderate Republicans to get some backbone, get some guts. We didn't send you down here to be weak-kneed and get in the room and try to make friends. We sent you down here to stand up for senior citizens, to stand up for students that can't pay their loans, to stand up for victims of police abuse. If you can't do the job, then we'll come here and bring you back home. We are not going to compromise on those 4 things. What we must do, tomorrow there's action all over the country. Then, as we see the votes on confirmation, I'm taking a list today of you that are ready. We are going to go to senators' offices and we are going to visit them right before the votes for Mr. Sessions. We need to make some house calls. We need to stay a little while. And we need to stay in their office while they on the floor voting here. Because Dr. King died fighting for these rights. That's why we came to the King Memorial. Mrs. Coretta Scott King, who used to speak at National Action Network every year, wrote a letter saying that Sessions shouldn't be on the federal bench. We owe it to her to have a roll call on those that would put him in the Justice Department. You're not getting a pass. We want the world to see if you sell us out, we're going to let everybody know who you are. When we look at the fact that in the confirmation hearing, no one raised while he was sitting there when he said he supported vote ID. Well, if you support vote ID, why did you allow 37 motor vehicle places in Alabama where they could get their ID? They closed them right after the Supreme Court decision. 8 of the 10 top black counties closed them. You didn't say anything about it, Senator. You cannot be the head of the Justice Department and protect voters when you advocate suppressing the vote and blocking the vote. You said that you were against federal intervention and federal people getting involved in local cases, where this week alone we saw a consent decree in Baltimore, a report in Chicago. All of that he would stop. We are not here because we didn't have something else to do. We're here because we fought hard to make sure that this administration heard our cry, and we are not going away now. Criminal justice and police reform must go forward. Let me say this. I saw on the front page of the Washington Post this morning about the case of Eric Garner. I thought about how in this Justice Department is the case of Walter Scott, shot in the back on video, where there's a federal case. All of this movement, the re-enlivening of it, the revival of it, started when a young boy with nothing but Skittles and an iced tea in his hand was going home to his daddy, and he was shot down, and they wouldn't even arrest the assailant. And some of us went to Sanford, Florida, and stood up for Trayvon Martin. And we're going to stand up for Eric Garner. And we're going to stand up for Walter Scott. And we're going to stand up for Tamir Rice. You may switch presidents, but we just going to switch legs and keep on marching. We won't back down. We won't be trumped. 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 I want you to join me in welcoming to the stage the courageous face of these movements, the mother of Trayvon Martin, Sabrina Fulton, the mother of Eric Garner, Gwen Carr, and the brother of Walter Scott. They came and marched with us today. We will not be moved. Let's hear. You know, the media likes to put out their friends and say, oh, this person speaks for the movement. We work with the families that have suffered. We've been with Sabrina from the beginning. We still there. We've been with Eric Garner. We still there. We've been with Walter Scott, and we're going to be there to the end. Where's Carrie Weiss? Carrie Weiss was one of the young men that Donald Trump took ads and said that he should be executed for Central Park. We marched for him. We stood for him. He went to jail for something he didn't do and was finally exonerated after 13 years in jail. Couldn't get a job. So we gave him a job at National Action Network. We still here. Carrie Weiss, one of the Central Park Five. We know how to fight Trump. Carrie Weiss is an example of how we gonna fight. A man shot and killed with a question of mentality in San Diego, California. Albert Alongo, his father joins us. Richard Alongo. These are the cases that we want the Senate to make sure they have backbone to deal with. I want to hear from the families, then we're going to hear from one of the members of the Senate. A couple have come with us today. Then my colleagues in civil rights leadership are here. So we don't want you to think that you came all this distance just for a parade. A lot of folks have parades and call it a march. We lay out what we're going to do. It's house calls. How many of y'all ready to make house calls? How many of y'all ready for the day to go in and have a session on session at your senator's office? We want to break it down state by state. Call it sessions for session. Then we also, and I'm going to wait for Mark on this, we're calling a summit since the public sector has been closing on us. We need to select in the private sector the companies that are violating our principles, and we are going to have a national withdrawal of our dollars. And we're going to make sure the private sector balances out the public sector. So if you're going to cut us off in Washington, we're going to cut you off at home. Mother of Trayvon Martin, Sabrina Fulton.
I want to say that I stand with Rel because he stood with me. We shall not be moved. Although it was my son, Trayvon Martin, that was shot and killed back in February 26, 2012, I want you to have the same compassion for me as if it was your child. It's so very important that we look out for our young people because they can't defend themselves. And so I continue this fight because my son was shot down and it made me stand up. So won't you stand with us? Won't you go back to your community and stand up and make a difference in your community? Thank you and God bless you.
The mother of Eric Garner, Miss Gwen Carr.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for being here. You know we all need to be here. This is the first step. This is not the end. This is the beginning. When we leave here, we have work to do. Like at National Action Network, I thank them so very much for standing with us. They stand with us when the lights are on and when they go out. A lot of you, when you go back to your homes, it'll be like nothing happened. We can't do that. We have to stand. There are things that are at stake that we have to address. Our voting rights. We must not embarrass our forefathers by letting them take away our voting rights. That's the most powerful weapon that we have. And we will not stand by quietly why they manipulate the voting rights. Our forefathers died. our blood, our forefathers' blood is on that bill. And we must uphold them. And our civil rights, the right to a living wage. We shouldn't have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to get the minimum basics for our families. Everyone deserves a living wage. Why do they think that we are any less? The 67 million who's getting less than the minimum wage, less than a living wage. We don't want the minimum wage. We want a living wage. Okay? And we want for the women. The women is getting paid 67 cents to every dollar that a man is making. Why? We do the best work. So we should get paid accordingly. Okay? And the police reform, we must remember, we must demand the way that our communities is being policed. We have to have a better standing there. We must demand that they respect human life better than they do. We must demand that they commune these sentences for the people with these low crimes, and they're keeping them in jail doing 2 and 3 lifetimes for what? Yes, so we have to stand together on this. And Obamacare, that was his pet project. We cannot let that be abolished. We will not stand here and say, oh, let them take it. No. We lost an election. We didn't lose our mind, okay? So we're going to stand up, and we're going to push back, and we're going to tell our senators, our councilmen, the minorities, you stand with us if you want our vote, all right? And I thank y'all so much.
We all saw the video of Walter Scott, a man shot in his back, running away. The Sunday after he was shot, I went to North Charleston with Reverend Rivers, and we had a prayer vigil at that spot. The man that we had lead us in prayer was Reverend Pinckney, who 2 months later was one of the 9 killed in his church in Charleston. It's too much going on to play games with the Justice Department. In the Justice Department is the case of Walter Scott. This family, just like the Garner family, has advocated nothing but asking for justice. They've not called for one word of hate, not one act of violence. The question, Mr. Trump, is not how we act. The question is how y'all gonna act about justice. How you gonna act to people that stand up and make America great. When you can see people mowed down in a church and Bible class and turn and forgive the killer, that's what makes people great. Talking loud, saying nothing, tweeting in the middle of the night don't make you great. Great is when you can look hate in the face and refuse to hate and become like the hater. I bring you the brother of Walter Scott, Rodney Scott.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the youngest brother of Walter Scott, and my mother unfortunately couldn't be here today. She wanted to be here, but her health caused her not to be here. But it's not over, just like you just said, it's not over until it's over. We sat in a courtroom for 7 weeks looking for justice, being peaceful about it. But I don't know about you, but I'm tired of being peaceful. I'm tired of justice not being served to all people, all mankind. And of course, we're going to have to do it again. We have trial again in March. And we'd like for your support again to be there for me and my family. Because we want justice, and we're going to stand together. And like my mother said, it's not over until God says it's over. And thank you again, the Scott family.
Let us hear from Richard Alongo, the father of Albert Alongo, San Diego, California. Hello? 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 Are you guys awake? Are you awake? I should say that when I say Arambe, you also say Arambe. Arambe! Arambe! Okay. When my son was shot in San Diego by Richard Gonzalez, a war has been declared. A war has been declared on humanity. Battle line has been drawn. And when we are fighting, there is no coldness. It is cold, but we have to move forward. We are not going to move backward. My son was killed because of his black skin. He should not have been shot. That police officer, if he wanted only to destabilize my son, he would have shot him one bullet. But he shot him 5 bullets. He was determined to kill. We don't have militarized police. We don't have military police. In fact, I get cut because I get very annoyed when I remember how my son was killed. Because I brought my son to look for protection, security, and justice, and safety. And when I brought my son to America to look for justice, the country where I came to look for justice is where my son was killed. It is a very big contradiction. I don't understand it. We have to fight, and we must be ready to fight. Join us and fight. We fight to win. We shall win. Arambe! 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 Thank you. Arambe! One senator who has stood up, who's committed to the fight, and has said he will not vote against the interests of the people of this country, who's marched with us today, the United States Senator from Oregon, Senator Merkley. Give him a hand.
What do we want? What do we want it? What do we want? Justice! When do we, what? I know that you're all willing to march in the cold, but are you willing to march up to Capitol Hill? Are you willing to talk justice to power? Are you willing to say to the powerful, we want the end of racial profiling? We want the end of mass incarceration. We want health care, quality health care, affordable health care for every American. You know, Martin Luther King said there's a dark and desolate valley, but we must go to the sunlit path of justice. Are you ready to go on that path? What are the first 3 words of our Constitution? We the people. It's not we the powerful. What is it? It's not we the privileged. It's we the people. So let's march out to Capitol Hill and go to every Senate office and demand that we want that sunlit path of justice for every American. Thurgood Marshall, up on the Supreme Court, the first African American to serve, he said we must not say it's okay to have indifference. He said there is a better path, a better America. Let's fight for that better America. I'm proud to stand with you. Thank you.
Senator Merkley, give him a hand. As I bring on my national civil rights leader colleagues, let me first go home and bring the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Mayor Ras Baraka.
No justice! No justice! No justice! We are down here all the way from Newark, New Jersey, and I know Newark is in the house. Because all 300,000 of us stand with Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network here today to say we shall not be moved. We are here some 50 years later after Martin Luther King brought many of us down here to cash a check that was marked insufficient funds. And we're still here 50 years later trying to cash that same check. We're still here trying to get what we deserve in this place, and we're here to tell them that we shall not be moved. America is not great because of Donald Trump. America is great only because millions of people fought to end slavery. America is only great because Mammy Till stood with her son's body after he was dragged out of the Tallahatchie River to show the world that we would defeat Jim Crow. America is only great because Goodman, Schwerner, and Cheney were killed in Mississippi trying to destroy segregation in the South. America is only great because workers fought and died for an 8-hour day and an increase in the minimum wage. America is only great because we marched these streets, because we shed our blood, because we didn't sit down in the face of tyranny, in the face of oppression. America is only great because the people have made it great. And I'm gonna sit down, but I'm not a part of a minority. I'm a part of the majority. The majority of Americans want an increase in the minimum wage. The majority of Americans want criminal justice reform. The majority of Americans want affordable health care. The majority of Americans want free or affordable college. The majority of Americans want criminal justice reform. And the majority of Americans did not vote for Donald Trump. I stand with the majority, not the minority. I did not lose, I won. My God is not a loser. My God is a winner. And I stand with those who won. Victory to the oppressed. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
Ras Baraka. Reverend Steffi Bartlett must have taught you that last piece. Where's Reverend Steffi? All right, he teaches them how to preach a little. To bring on our national civil rights leaders, and they're all here from Cornell Brooks to Rashad Robinson and others as United Front, then our labor leaders. I want to bring the chairman of our board, the senior pastor of Grace Baptist Church, that will introduce each of them. And then we will have J. David Cox and our labor leaders, and we've got to warm up to get you home from the one and only Reverend Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. Reverend W. Franklin Richardson.
We certainly want to celebrate the leadership of Reverend Sharpton, the founder of the National Action Network and president. Let's give him some love as he has provided leadership for this. I'm glad to be here to join all of us as we've come across the country to be a part of this important statement of our rejection of what appears to be policies that are designed to hold us back. This is the first time in the last 30 years where the cabinet will not look like America. All billionaires and millionaires, all white men with the exception of one white woman and one colored man. And this is the first time in the history of America where we have the first Russian president of the United States of America. So it is important that the African American community is not silent, but that we stand. That's why this march is important. There will be other marches, but this march is important because we as a community are standing up and saying we shall not be moved. We will not turn back the clock. The National Action Network is grateful to have our partners in civil rights to join us. We understand that the cause of civil rights cannot be handled by any one single organization, but a collaboration of people who have a cause and a heart for justice. Today we have this wonderful cadre of outstanding civil rights leaders who have joined the National Action Network. One of our partners is one who is leading with great clarity, precision, and effectiveness. He represents an organization that has been in the struggle a long time, and he's been very articulate. It's my joy to welcome to the platform at this time the president of the National Urban League, Mark Muriel.
No justice. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. I know that the rain is coming, and in that spirit, I am going to try to set the tone to be as brief as possible. More than 50 years ago, our forefathers and foremothers gathered on this mall to set forth, under Dr. King's leadership, a vision for the future of this nation. Just 4 years ago, we gathered here on this mall to celebrate the 50th anniversary of that march. When we did it, it was a joyous day. We had present with us the first African American president in the history of the United States. 4 years later, we face an uncertain and unknown future. We must send the strongest possible message today that just because an election has taken place, it does not change what we believe in, what we stand for, and what our vision for this nation is. Our vision for this nation as civil rights leaders and human rights leaders combined is a vision of an America without hate. It's a vision of an America with economic opportunity for all. It's a vision for America with properly funded public schools that educate every child. It's a vision for America where health care is not a privilege but a right. It's a vision for America that says whether you are black or white or Hispanic or Asian or Native or gay or straight, or man, or woman, this nation is your nation. This is our nation. Now, there's been this great call to make America great. We say today, make America great for everyone. Make America great for the locked out and the left out. Make America great for the child down in Alabama seeking to become a great person. Make America great for the young man in the Bronx, for the young woman in Chicago. Make America great for everyone. So let us say that today is the beginning. We will be part of this new movement for resistance in America. What we resist is any effort to turn back the hands of time. For this generation, this is a moment not of comfort, not of convenience, but a moment of challenge, a moment of controversy. Where do we stand? We must stand and say loudly, we will not be moved.
Thanks, Mark. One of our partners who's been sustaining partners across the years has been the NAACP. And we're happy to have the president of the NAACP, Dr. Carlton Brooks, as he comes to give a word to us today.
Good morning. Good morning. I want to ask that if there's anyone here who appreciates the leadership of the Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network, I want you to put your hands together loud, long, and resoundingly. Because this is a brother who's gone to jail for his people, who stood up for his people, who stood by his people. Put your hands together for the Reverend Al Sharpton. On behalf of the leadership and membership of the NAACP, I'm reminded that on this morning it is cold and rainy, and there are some who believe that we're frozen in apathy. But I want to remind our opponents that our hearts are warm with courage, warm with conviction, warm with conscience, warm with determination, warm with resolve, warm with the prophetic spirit. We're not giving up. We're not giving in. We're not giving over. We're going to stand and stand and stand for our rights. The late Supreme Court Justice Harry Blackmun said a chill wind blows all across this republic. There's a chill wind that blows. A chill wind of fear for women who heard a president, or rather a candidate for the presidency, talk in the most vulgar terms about grabbing a woman's genitalia. And the fear is that this is not campaign rhetoric, but the promise of an administration reality. This is a campaign in which we saw racism regularized, homophobia routinized, xenophobia made the order of the day. It's a campaign in which we heard over and over and over again our people being marginalized, our people being otherized, the handicapped and the disabled being made fun of. It is a campaign in which many of us felt disrespected. Unless we miss the point, in recent hours, in recent days, we heard the president-elect refer to an icon of the civil rights movement who came precariously or perilously close to becoming a martyr of the civil rights movement by the name of Reverend and Representative John Lewis. The president-elect said that he was all talk and no action. Disrespected. We had members of the Congressional Black Caucus invited and summoned to testify before the House Judiciary Committee, relegated to being last. No questions asked. And as one representative put it, they were asked to enter through the back door. Disrespected. Unless we miss the point. A senior senator from the state of South Carolina, a state from which I hail, referred to the NAACP as a partisan organization because we gave him a failing grade. Well, let me say to Representative Lindsey Graham, if you get an F from the NAACP, it is because you failed on civil rights and you failed on America. So if you want to improve your grade, and you're in need of remedial education, I simply ask that you stand with NAN, you stand with the NAACP, you stand with these brothers and sisters who yet stand for this country. And so we're here on the eve of this holiday and on the eve of the inauguration of Donald J. Trump. And there are those who want us to come and celebrate the holiday. But may I remind you that the holiday is not a holiday from social justice. It is a Sabbath for social justice. May I remind you that when you look across this country, Kibbles, who are putting their hearts, their minds, their bodies on the line, and they're yet declaring with their whole being, in the words of Shakespeare, now is the winter of our discontent. They're saying with their minds, with their mouths, that Black lives matter. They understand that Black Lives Matter is the ethical predicate to the moral conclusion that all lives matter. Unless the first is true, the second can never be true. So we're putting this administration on notice. We're not going to allow you to take away our voting rights. We're not going to allow you to overpopulate jails and prisons while underpopulating and depopulating our homes and our communities. We're going to stand up for our rights. We're putting the administration on notice that we're going to the Hill. We're going to these congressional offices on the Hill and then back home, and we're going to tell them, you have to stand for policies that bring this era of mass incarceration to an end. You're going to stand for policies that strengthen the Voting Rights Act. You're going to stand for policies that allow our people to go to college instead of going to jail. You're going to stand for policies that protect our young people. You're going to stand for policies such that we don't have to have so many mothers standing behind this podium crying for their sons and daughters. I'm going to leave you with this parable about the perilous state that we are in. A man by the name of Medgar Evers came home at the end of a long day, and it was his practice to disembark his car on the passenger side because of known assassins. But he got out of his car on the driver's side because he was tired. When he got out of the car, an assassin fired bullets into his body, bullets into his legacy. As he lay dying, his dying words were these: sit me up and turn me loose. If Medgar said on his dying and then on his deathbed, sit me up and turn me loose, we yet say, stand up and turn us loose. And for the folks who think we're frozen in apathy, cynicism, and pessimism, we yet remind you, we're here marching in the cold, we're here marching in the rain, we're here marching in the midst of this winter of discontent, and we say to you, we will march until hell freezes over, and when it does, we will march on the ice. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight. Stand up and fight.
We continue with our partners in civil rights. We want to welcome our sister, Janet McGreer, who is the president of the National Council of La Raza, to come and share with us this time. Let's give her some love as she comes.
Thank you so much. It is an honor to be here today on hallowed ground in the shadow of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s memorial. Someone who had a dream that spoke to everyone. It was a universal dream. Dr. King was not only a civil rights icon, he was a great American and a patriot. He so cherished the values and ideals on which our great country was founded that he spent his life working to make sure our nation lived up to the values and ideals for all Americans. We too, as we gather here today, are patriots and believe deeply in this country, its ideals and institutions. So we have a message for President-elect Trump, as we gather looking for that dream still to be realized, we expect you, Mr. President-elect, to be the president for all Americans, not just the ones who voted for you. We expect you to stop targeting our communities as you did through your campaign. If not, you can expect us to stand up and protect and defend our communities at every turn. And you can expect all of us here today to be united. Brown brothers and sisters, black brothers and sisters, yellow brothers and sisters, red brothers and sisters, all of us protecting and defending the American values and ideals that we revered with every fiber of our being. So if this administration tries to further compromise the right to vote, we will protect and defend our constitutional right. If they try to roll back our voting rights, we will stand up and protect and defend our country, our civil rights. If they try to roll back marriage equality, we will protect and defend our LGBT brothers and sisters. If they try to put the Islamic community in a registry, we will protect and defend our Muslim brothers and sisters. If they try to repeal the Affordable Care Act, we will protect and defend health care for the millions of Americans who need it. And if this administration tries to end a program that Barack Obama stood up for, that protected young people who came to this country through no fault of their own and who are Americans in every way, are dreamers. If he comes after those who have been living in the shadows and does not provide an opportunity, we will protect those who are the dreamers and want to be aspiring Americans. Protecting and defending all of us will not be easy, but if we are together, united in our cause, we will be unstoppable. Are you ready? Are you ready? We will be unstoppable. Onward. Thank you so much.
I need you to know that each one of you is important. Your being here is sending a message to the nation, and I want you to know we're celebrating it. Rashad Robinson, the leader of Color of Change, is going to speak to us now.
Rashad, come on, man. All right. How are we doing out in this rain today? I want to thank the Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network for inviting me here today to bring a message from the over 1 million Color of Change members, black folks and our allies of every race who will stand up and fight back against this administration. But I want to tell you all something, that it's not just fighting back against this administration, because they will get their power from the enablers across society, from the media who send us fake news or use false equivalencies, from corporations who recognize that this is an opportunity to buy out and take back what we have won and fought for generations, to the Democrats who may not have a backbone in this moment but will need our votes 2 years and 4 years from now, to the Republicans who think that they can govern without our votes. Our work has to be across so many different sectors. And let me tell you that I've got this quote on my wall, both at home and my office. And it's something that I carry with me. And it's, I think, apropos for today as we stand out in this rain. It's a quote from Frederick Douglass, the great abolitionist, that says, "There is no progress without a struggle. Those who profess freedom, yet deprecate agitation, they want fields without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. These next several years will make all of us uncomfortable, and if we do not stand up and stand together, stand in solidarity with our Muslim brothers and sisters, our immigrant brothers and sisters, LGBT folks and women across many different sectors, because in fact, black folks are part of all those communities as well." And we've got to use technology and new tools and invite young people into these conversations in a new way. I am coming off an election that was incredibly disappointing. While at the same time as Color of Change has stood with Black Lives Matter activists, with civil rights activists in communities around the country in the aftermath of police violence, standing up and trying to translate the presence of these issues into the power to change the rules, we also faced down into local elections and challenged some district attorneys who did not value Black lives. We picked 7 elections through our political action committees, and we won 5 of them, kicking out, along with local partners, district attorneys in places like Orlando and Tampa, in places like Houston and Chicago. This is the work that we have to do, not just at the national level, but at the local level, to tell people that you will respect us, you will respect our rights, and we will change the rules, not just the rules of culture, but the rules of policy. And we must do this work together until justice is real. Thank you all very much.
We're happy to have one of our leaders in this struggle, Melanie Campbell, who's president of the National Coalition of Black Civil Participation. Let's hear it for Melanie as she comes.
All right. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Are you ready for the fight? Are you ready for the fight?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the fight for justice?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the fight for women's rights?
Yeah.
For labor rights?
Yeah.
For criminal justice reform?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the fight?
Yeah.
Are you really ready for the fight?
Yeah.
We need to make sure that every Republican that's in the Congress, that the incoming president, that the governors in all these red states, I'm nonpartisan, I'm just giving you the facts, that we're not going back to a time, Reverend Sharpton, when there was segregation, good old times, America back together again, not without us. We built this mother. We're not going back. And our children sure have already let us know they're not going back. And so I'm going to ask you again, are you ready for the fight? All right. So, couple of things. Some issues that we really need to stay on top of. We know, we've heard it already, but it's nothing wrong with repeating it. We know that we got our sisters here that have buried sons, and our sisters and our brothers and our daughters and our sons. They're counting on us not to be scared, y'all. We know folks gonna come at us, but my God, the God I serve, He's there with me. He's on high, Reverend. And He's going to make sure that don't be scared. He's got our back. So do you believe it? So, and sisters, women, power of our vote. We gave Sister Hillary Clinton 94% of our vote. Unfortunately, our white sisters didn't follow suit. They gave the other man 53% of our vote. But we're going to stand in solidarity anyhow, because they'll figure it out by and by. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready for the fight? Peace and power. Thank you.
Give yourselves a hand. Let me tell you, you are wonderful. You're making this significant. Come on, celebrate yourself. Come on. We're all here. We're all important. We're all significant. I'm going to ask J. David Cox, who's president of the American Federation of Government Employees, to come and speak to us now. Come on, Dave.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I can tell you, 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers are ready for the fight. Ready for the fight. We're going to keep delivering Social Security checks. We're going to keep taking care of veterans. We're going to keep seeing that people have fair housing. And we are going to stand up to an administration that pushes back. I can promise you that. Hey, brothers and sisters, the theme of this rally We shall not be moved. What a way to honor Dr. King. Brothers and sisters, it's time that we do not allow the labor movement to be moved back in this country. It's time that we stop eroding of labor rights of public employees in states, cities, and counties, and the federal government. Dr. King did not view civil rights, voting rights, and union rights as three ABC columns. He viewed them as one right, the right of the people, brothers and sisters. I make a promise to you today. I make a promise to Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network. AFGE and the labor movement are going to be out there. We are going to be joined at the hip every day of our lives. We are going to fight because, brothers and sisters, the American labor movement and the American Federation of Government Employees shall not be moved. Not now, not ever. And anybody that tries to do it to us, we're opening up one gigantic can of whoop ass on every one of them. Thank you.
What you say? What you say? Yes. We're fired up. Fired up. Senator Nina Turner of Ohio is going to represent Senator Bernie Sanders. Let's celebrate her coming.
Sisters and brothers and sisters, I count it all joy to be here with you on this rainy afternoon. And I'm so glad that Reverend Al did not stop this, because this gives us just a little taste of what our ancestors had to endure. Now, we got troubles, but we don't have middle passage troubles. We got troubles, but we don't have selling your mama, your kids, and your daddy on the block type trouble. This moment reminds me of a spiritual song in the African American tradition, How I Got Over. My soul looks back and wonders how I got over. Now, sisters and brothers, we know we got over by the blood, the sweat, and the tears of sheroes and heroes, some whose names we know and some whose names we do not know. But I will tell you something, we have been here before. Now, the only difference is we got some company, Rev. We got our gay, lesbian sisters and brothers with us this time. We got our Hispanic, Asian, Native American sisters and brothers with us this time. I think Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King said we may not have gotten here on the same ship, but we are in the same boat right now. We have been here before. And I know that you might be disappointed, but I want you to take solace in these words. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. The valley may be lower, but we've been here before. The mountain might be higher, but we've been here before. Because our mission for social justice and economic justice and political justice, and oh, by the way, sisters, we want our whole damn dollar. Say whole damn dollar. You see, the mission is so high, we can't get over it. And the mission is so low, we can't get under it. And the mission is so wide, we can't get around it. We might be disappointed, but we have been here before. And as sure as there's a God in heaven, he is stronger and more powerful than any man. We cannot forget where we have come from. So, sisters and brothers, I want to leave you with these three things. Number one, the creator of this great universe has given us two hands. One to reach forward and one to reach back, lifting as we climb. Number two, and most importantly, we can't ask other folks to do more for us than we are willing to do for ourselves. And lastly, in the words of my grandmother, who was hailed from the South, born in 1913. Grandma could not read or write, but she could count her money. She kept her money in the Southern Ladies Bank and Trust with a handkerchief. Y'all know what I'm saying. When I asked Grandma, what does it take to be successful in life? She said, all you need are the 3 bones, the wishbone, the jawbone, and the backbone. She said the wishbone will keep you hoping and praying because hope is the motivator, but the dream is the driver. The jawbone will give you courage to speak truth to power. But the most important bone of them all, the superfragilocalistic expialidocious bone, hey, it's the backbone, because it will keep you standing through your trials and tribulations. And guess what, sisters and brothers? We can't have a testimony without a test. And we are being tested right now. Well, whether or not we got courage enough, hope enough, fight enough, love enough to do what is necessary. Hallelujah, somebody.
Yes. I'm happy to bring forward now one of the most prolific voices in America today. A brother who has captured the multiple dimensions of our cultural experience and articulates in the nuances of our transition. A brother who has spoken with power all over the world, who is indeed a friend to the movement, a voice for the struggle, our friend, our brother, professor at Georgetown University, the Reverend Michael Eric Dyson, Dr. Erkenberg.
What an honor it is to be here today at this magnificent and incredible and powerful march of conscience for people from around this country. All of the great leaders who are here today, Brooks and Muriel and Campbell and Turner and Rashad Robinson, but especially the Reverend Dr. Professor Bishop Alfred Sharpton. Give him the love that he deserves. We are about to witness the first toddler presidency. Belligerent, bellicose, and bullying. A man who is unmolested by enlightenment. A man who is addicted to the United States of amnesia because he has refused to study his history. He is here in a moment of incredible importance, and yet he lacks the gravitas and the study and the scholarship and the erudition and the insight and the courage and the heart to bear witness to the truth. He has put in place of our government a baronocracy. Tycoons who are billionaires and multimillionaires who are without competence. Just because you got a bunch of money don't mean you know what you're doing. Pockets on swole, brain on empty. The reality is we've got a president-elect who is unconscious of the deep and profound waters that have washed over our lives. And so we are here to remind him that we will not be moved. We ain't going back. And all of this incompetence, don't ever again say you are against so-called preferential treatment and the worst meaning of affirmative action. We have got the most incompetent, incapable people putting in place to run the government, mostly white men and some white women and a brother. That's the soft bigotry of bro expectations. But the reality is that we must dig deep. We must remember that we are all in this together.
gay and straight and lesbian and transgendered and bisexual, Christian and Muslim, black and white. We are told that this is the revenge of the white working class. I love the white working class, but there's a black working class and a brown working class and a yellow and a red working class. We are all in this together. And what we must tell our white brothers and sisters is that you got to learn from us as well. Don't be hoodwinked and snookered by investing in white supremacy and the unconscious reflex of bigotry. You've got to push beyond that to understand we are all in this together. I'll end by saying this. I got a new book coming out called Tears We Cannot Stop, a sermon to white America. And I try to say to my white brothers and sisters, disinvest in your innocence. Disinvest in your amnesia, disinvest in your fragility, and learn that you and I must struggle together. I'll end by saying this. There was a mouse once looking through the crack of the wall, and he saw the farm people, the mother and father, the wife and husband, get a package. He said, "What's in that package? It must be some new food." And when they opened it up, it was a mouse trap. The mouse ran back to the barnyard and told the chicken, "They got a mouse trap out there." Chicken said, "That ain't got nothing to do with me." Went on to the pig and said, "There's a mouse trap they got." The pig said, "I'll be praying for you, but that ain't my concern." Went up to the cow and said, "There's a mouse trap back there." The cow said, "Holler at me later, that ain't my problem." And then later on, the mouse went back to the house, and then he heard a big noise, and the mouse trap caught something. And in the dark, he couldn't see what it was. It turned out to be a venomous snake. And the wife saw the snake by the tail and went into it, and the snake bit her. Her husband rushed her to the doctor. The doctor tried to help her, sent her back home, but she had a fever. What's the best thing for a fever? Chicken soup. And so the farmer went out there and killed the chicken and made the soup. She didn't get better. So he said, "I need to help her some more. She needs some more food." So he went out there and slaughtered the pig. And then she died and didn't get any better. And so at the repast, he needed some food. So he killed the cow. Next time they tell you it's a mousetrap out there, and it's not your issue, because you ain't gay, or you ain't black, or you ain't white, or you ain't poor. It is you. The mousetrap is for everybody. The mousetrap is for the entire barnyard. All of us are in this together. Peace.
All right, now you got your marching orders. We're ready to do house calls before the session vote. We're ready to deal with building an economic withdrawal on the private sector. We need to hear from 32 BJ and our homeboy Jamani Williams before we leave. But I know that y'all done heard so much preaching, we need some music. I'm not gonna raise the offering, but I do want to hear some singing. And there's nobody, I was gonna sing myself, but they went to get the baddest choir in the capital, Howard University Choir.
Just give me the pitch. Ready?
Ain't gonna let nobody planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Come on, we want to be quiet, everybody. Listen. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Oh, like a tree planted by the water, say, we shall not be moved. Black and white together, we shall not be moved. Black and white together, we shall not be moved. Oh, like a tree that's planted by the water, say, we shall not be moved. One more time, black and white together, we shall not be moved. Black and white together, we shall not be moved. Oh, like a tree planted by the water, say, we shall not be moved. Like a tree planted by the water, we shall not be moved. Like a tree that's planted by the water, say, we shall not be moved.
Come on, let's give the Howard University Gospel Choir. Come on, give them some love. Yes.
Wait a minute, before we go, the voice of progressive America, who's been here with us from closing down George Bush to stopping us from being trumped, Brother Mark Thompson.
All right, thank you. We will continue to fight the power that seems to never cease. For as long as we have no justice, they shall have no peace. No justice, no justice, no justice. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to the chairman of the board of the National Action Network, the Reverend Dr. Franklin Richardson. W. Franklin Richardson, give him a round of applause. And to the leader of the hour who brought us all here, the president of the National Action Network, the Reverend Al Sharpton, give him a round of applause. It is appropriate that we would be here on Dr. King's birthday. We often ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? But what would Martin Luther King do? Our movement didn't end because people were tired. Our movement continues. The only thing that stopped Dr. King was what the FBI did. The same thing that they're doing today. We must oppose the Attorney General Jeff Sessions, as many have said. We must stand up for our rights, and we must do exactly as Dr. King would have us do on his birthday. We have several other distinguished speakers to bring forward to you. First and foremost, please welcome a very active brother. You see him often representing the people of New York from the city council. And this is important because we all need to start thinking about running for office ourselves at a local level. Can't just come out and start running for president. This brother sets the example. You make a difference on city councils. You make a difference in local elected office. And this brother most certainly is making such a difference. Please welcome the council member from Brooklyn, Brother Jamani Williams. Give him a round of applause.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm from Brooklyn. It's glad to see all y'all here. I know this is the faithful. If you can't stand a little cold and rain, you might not make it for the next 2 years, so I'm glad to see y'all out here. About 6 months ago, a lot of people were asleep. Everybody's woke now. Everybody's ready to fight now. Don't be afraid, or if you're going to be afraid, you got to come anyway. I know a lot of people are scared, but there's a book that I read that helps me get through it. And the book I read, it said that weeping may endure for a night, but joy, not just a smile, joy, not just happy, joy, it cometh in the morning. But it didn't say it would come easy. It didn't say it would come about a fight. It just said joy will come in the morning. And that means you have to be the light. That means we have to be the stars. It said in the darkest dark, you see the brightest stars. We got to be those stars. So look at your neighbor and tell him, I'll be your star. I'll be your light. You be my star. You be my light. And we'll get it together. We got to fight. I'm here to tell you just to hold on. Hold on for a little while longer. That joy will come. You got to hold on, because they never said it would be easy, but they said it will become. Hold on, because I know from whence I speak. I am the descendant of a slave who just wanted to hold on to get us here. Hold on, because the historians are going to look back and say, thank God they understood that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Hold on, because we are just in an arc. We are just in an arc. We at a comma. It's not a full stop. You got to hold on to keep moving forward. Hold on, because no justice, no peace is not just a mantra. It's a moral edict. You got to hold on, because if people ask for one and not the other, they are morally inept. We got to make no justice, no peace, go from sea to shining sea. Hold on, because if you listen closely, you will hear your children's children saying, please don't forget about us. Someone remembered you. Hold on, because we have to answer back that we won't let you down. We're going to bring the torch to you. It might not be pretty. It might not be one piece, but we're going to get it there. Just hold on and keep fighting. Hold on. Don't push forward. Keep pushing forward. Don't just push back. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. And keep fighting. We got the victory, but we got to fight. Peace.
Give Councilmember Jamani Williams another round of applause. We know that there's a war against organized labor, and we have reason to believe this new president is going to continue that war, and we have to stand up against it. Welcome now a young brother who's trying to be a part of a union. We shouldn't take anybody for granted. Dr. King gave his life for garbage workers. People that to a lot of us don't even matter. How many of us even speak to the sanitation workers? But he sacrificed his life for the sanitation workers, the people who are on the ground doing everyday work. When we leave here today and go to the airport, this is a brother who is there working on behalf of us, and he ought to be treated fairly. Please welcome, he's a baggage handler at Ronald Reagan International Airport. You know, I don't even like the name of that airport. Never should have been named. Never should have named that airport that airport. Trying to organize and join 32BJ SEIU. Is SEIU here? I don't hear nothing. Don't sound like nobody from SEIU is here. Please welcome Trey Backus. Trey Backus, ladies and gentlemen. All right, brother.
32, 32, 32, 32, BJ. Good afternoon, my beautiful brothers and sisters. My name is Trey Backus. I'm from Ronald Reagan National Airport. I'm a bag runner / supervisor. The wear and tear on my body is very significant. I'm just not only trying to improve my lives, but I'm trying to improve lives of millions of work. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, my beautiful brothers and sisters. My name is Trey Backus. I'm a baggage handler / supervisor at Ronald Reagan National Airport. I am not only representing myself, but I'm representing 100 people who work for workers like myself, who work 2 or 3 jobs every single day, who don't have time to go home, who have to sleep in their cars and sleep at the airport.
They pay us nothing. Some people get paid $5.25, $6.25, $9 an hour. I've been at the airport for 9 years going on now, and I've never got a raise. It's only $8.25 an hour. That's not enough. When you see us at the airport, you might think we're looking all good, making all that money, but we're not making nothing. No raise, no health care benefits, no nothing. And now that since we got Donald Trump coming in the White House, he's trying to take away the Obamacare. But I refuse to believe that we're going to give up. We're going to fight till we keep our Obamacare. Under the Trump administration, we are facing the darkest days and toughest challenges of our life. Our new Labor Secretary nominee is an anti-worker, as he is the CEO of Carl's Jr. Hardee's. He presided over companies that stole workers' wages and violated overtime laws and forced employees into public assistance. As the Labor Secretary, Pruser will be in charge of upholding many of labor laws and regulations his companies routinely violated. That's like Fox guarding the hen house. He also makes more in a day than I do in a year. So I don't know how it's possible to understand my struggle. That's why we are committed to work together to do whatever it takes to win a minimum $15 in a union. As we have more power in that fight of because of the National Action Network, who has our backs, they have been working together with 32BDA to fight for the $15 in the union. I know that Dr. Martin Luther King will be standing with us in a fight for our jobs with dignity and respect, as we stand with striking with Memphis, as he stood striking with Memphis sanitation workers at the end of his life. Probably jobs hold us back in a world where we already have too many things holding us down now. As we continue, we stay strong and united, and we get the life in the future and the respect we deserve. At DCA, we have this saying that DCA workers don't play. We fight, we win. We fight, we win. God bless America. Thank you.
Trey Backus, give him a round of applause. We are in solidarity with all of our diverse communities, aren't we? And we can proudly say, finally, that marriage equality exists in America. We can finally say proudly that we stand with our sisters and brothers in the LGBT community, don't we? That's what Dr. King would have done. That's what Coretta Scott King did before she passed away. Here representing the Human Rights Campaign, the Director of Faith Initiatives, the Reverend Dr. MacArthur Flournoy. Give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon. When history is told, it will be said that on January 14th, there stood a people that stood in the rain. It was cold and it was freezing, and some of us were shivering, but we understood that there was something that we had to do that was bigger than us. As I stand here before you, I understand that many of you stand with the LGBT community, but I've come to make a statement this afternoon that the LGBT community stands with you. Let me put it another way, it stands with us. As the father of 5 and the grandfather of the most beautiful baby boy that ever walked the face of this planet, I stand with you today because I understand it's not just about us, it's about voting rights. It's about health care. It's about jobs. It's about the ability to worship in the way that we choose to worship. I'm not here to tell you who to worship. What I'm here to declare is that we are for justice for all. Some of us are depending on us to take a step back. There's a trick that has been played on us over time, and that is they want to divide us and separate us on what some of us believe. But I'm here to tell you that we're not falling for that trick anymore. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Black folks, white folks, Latino folks, lesbian folks, straight folks, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, left, right, we shall not be moved. We're not threatened by our diversity, but as the great First Lady that has ever lived, Michelle Obama has said, it is our diversity that makes us who we are. Dr. King said many years ago, we have some difficult days ahead. But I declare before you, standing with me are 1.5 million members of the Human Rights Campaign, that we stand together. We stand united and get it right. We don't have to be uniform in our thinking to be united. That's right, Doctor. But we can move in our diversity. So I stand with you to declare that as a people, a diverse people, a pluralistic people, fat people, small people, old people, young people, women, men, transgender, black, white, we shall not be moved.
Let's hear it from MacArthur Flournoy and the Human Rights Campaign. Joining us now to close us out. Give yourself a round of applause. Isn't this an incredible turnout? In spite of the weather, everyone is here. Our final speaker will be the Vice President and General Counsel of the National Action Network, the brother who keeps the action on the air every weekend with our Saturday broadcasts, the one who represents the masses in terms of his legal expertise. Our friend and brother, your friend and brother, Attorney Michael Hardy. Give him a round of applause. He's going to wait because we've got another sister that's going to join us first, and we're glad she was able to join us. It was in his only term, in the second year of his presidency, that JFK asked this organization to be formed to ensure that there was equal rights under the law. Joining us now is the president, the new president of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights Under Law. Please give a warm round of applause to our dear sister, Kristen Clark.
Good afternoon. It's been a long day, but the real work lies ahead. No justice, no peace. Voter suppression, no peace. Police shootings, no peace. Mass incarceration, no peace. Violence against women, no peace. Islamophobia, no peace. Hate crimes and hate-inspired violence. No peace. Shootings inside our churches and houses of worship. No peace. The rise of the alt-right, no peace. Photo ID laws, no peace. Economic inequality, no peace. Barriers faced by people with criminal histories who are seeking a second chance. No, the school to prison pipeline. No, racial profiling. No, we have made great progress, but we can't afford to turn the clock back now. We can't allow them to hack our justice system.
That's right.
Frederick Douglass said that power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. I am proud to stand up here today representing civil rights lawyers across our country who are prepared to roll up their sleeves and fight. We will take this fight to courts across our nation. We will do the hard work that is necessary to make sure that this administration enforces our nation's federal civil rights laws and does not turn this nation back. Coretta Scott King opposed the nomination of Mr. Jeff Sessions to become a federal judge in 1986. Mrs. King said that Jeff Sessions abused the awesome powers of his office in an attempt to intimidate and frighten elderly black voters. We will not forget history. We will lift up the words and the legacy of Coretta Scott King and continue to stand in opposition of Mr. Jeff Sessions to serve as Attorney General of the United States. No justice, you.
Let's hear it again for Kristen Clark. Now, our brother giving deference to the Queen, we want to bring him back now, attorney, the Vice President of the National Action Network and General Counsel, Michael Hardy. Give him a round of applause as he comes to close us out.
Brothers and sisters, we thank you so much for being with us today. History will say that we came in the cold. It will say we came in the rain. It will say that we came in peace, that we stood for justice, that we shall not be moved. God bless you. Get home safe. Check your captains and everything. The buses are here. We're ready to go. We're ready to fight. We're ready to stand. God bless you. No justice. No peace. No peace.
Stretch guys, long sleeve.
Take care of yourself too. Thank you.
Guys, long sleeve, problems.
Philadelphia, we're headed this way. Philadelphia, rolling out. Let's roll. Philadelphia, let's roll.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Well, on a cold, rainy day in the nation's capital, this Martin Luther King Day holiday weekend, kicking off with a civil rights march and rally in West Potomac Park. This event organized and sponsored by Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network, also the NAACP, the National Urban League, and the Black Women's Roundtable. I'd like to go to the phones now and get your thoughts on what you saw and heard today in the last couple of hours from West Potomac Park. The numbers are on your screen if you're a Democrat, 202-748-8920. Republicans call us at 202-748-8921. Independents and all others, that number for you is 202-748-8922. Tweet us, of course, at C-SPAN. You can also leave a comment on C-SPAN's Facebook page. We're going to go right to your calls. Lexington.